Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. This will be part 3 on the Mercedes E320 Bluetec with the boost issue. Alright, so I took the car again yesterday for like four tries or 4 test drives. I have one time happening the loss of power, which I was expecting to happen because I haven't cleaned the DPF filter. I know that I cleaned as much as I could those cats. Still, there's a lot of stuff to do in this car, like in regards of the boost. I spoke to the owner and I told him that most likely he's gonna have to drive the car for a little longer periods of like at least over 10 miles and over 2,000 RPMs, keep it over 40 miles per hour, so at least the car itself does a regen. I did twice already a regen on the car, and the value of ashes went from like 78% to like 48%, which is big improvement. I really would like to have those lower than 30, but it's a used DPF filter, so I might be asking too much. I also removed just this morning, I didn't record that because it's very simple to remove the Egr valve. It's just a couple of cooling hoses and 2 bolts. You have to remove the shield on the turbocharger and then clean it up. It was definitely full of carbon. I blew air in the intake and through the passage, trying to remove as much of that ashes as in there, so the system is cleaner. And it was a big difference day and night. I should have at least take a picture or something for you guys, but I forgot, so sorry for that. Well, but talking on Mark, and it's a big improvement on the car so far. Again, after that one time, and it was probably my mistake because I didn't warm up the car good enough. When you're driving this turbo engine, especially when you have an issue like this, and either way, it will be recommended that you let it warm up and then take it for a ride. Same thing when you come back, just don't go and turn the car off. You have to let it idle for like 2-3 minutes so the turbo cool down and then turn the car off. It's very important. Like that you will extend your turbo life and hold exhaust, because it's the way everything cools down and goes back to normal before actually you shut it down and then goes skyrocket the temperature, right? Okay, so we have more issues on this car that we already knew before we start on this process. And one of the intercooler hoses, the one that goes to the throttle body, is definitely leaking. So I cannot say that that's not part of the issue, so I'm definitely fixing it. We're also removing the oil and putting brand new fresh oil coming straight from Mercedes-Benz. We're gonna replace, of course, the oil filter, the diesel filter, and I found some additives coming from the dealer again for the DPF filter. So I wanted to see if that goes into the fuel tank or it's straight. Sometimes you have to like remove one of the DPF lines or temperature sensors and spray it from there and then start the car. So I have to see what that will be. I don't have the parts yet, so I will show you guys when that comes on. I wanted to show you at least the leak on that intake hose. So 1 second, let me get that microphone. 1 second, guys. It's much better. So as you can see, we have leaks, and if we follow that hose, and hopefully you can see that on that coolant passage hose, it's dripping in there. The whole side of the frame in here is wet, and I'm not sure if that will show up in the camera. Let me switch hands 1 second. I'm right-handed. I'm holding the camera with the left hand. I'm gonna try to focus the camera, the light, and probably the camera, if I can find a spot without many hoses. Up high, and I'm gonna try to zoom in there. Hopefully you guys can see that crack in there, and also on the front is 3 cracks on that hose. So this is that right there is the throttle body actuator. And that is a very important spot because that sensor we're looking at in there, right next to this pipe, the metal pipe on top of that is the boost pressure sensor. So if you have leaks, that's going to have bed readings. Let me take off the zoom. So again, I'm waiting on parts, and as soon as that comes on, I will install, show you guys the after of the repairs and the test, and you know, the new hoses and everything. So let's stay tuned and follow this video all the way through. Again, I have very good improvement on the handling of the car. Before, the way this car was, you couldn't even drive. I mean, after that half-a-mile drive, and as soon as you step on the gas, it was already in limbo. It was impossible to drive. Again, I drove the car yesterday like 4 times, and I put another 20-25 miles. I did another regen. So I am confident enough to say that this will go through if we, you know, keep having those regens, cleaning the system, using the right oil, hopefully without spending a whole ton of money, because these cats and the DPF filters are very expensive. So we'll see. All right, guys, I got the hose out so I can show you what I'm talking about, because in there was kind of like hard to see. So you can see all those cracks in there, and also, I mean, very easy. Look at that crack. I mean, let me put the light on there. I mean, you can see it from here, but I think, yeah, look at that. So that hose is completely open. This one most likely, yeah, those are two, as you can see. So yeah, you see the light through. So this is a damaged hose. This again the one that goes to the throttle body. There's a few more, but I mean, it doesn't really worth to show more. I mean, there's already 2 cracks in there. That's enough to replace. So again, let me work for parts and wait for parts and put this together, see how it goes. Finally, we got the parts in here. I got the hose, which looks like the correct one. You have the fuel filter here. Let me show you the engine oil. So this is what Mercedes-Benz recommend. So it's a full synthetic 530, and that is the one that they sent for the diesel engine. Alright, so don't ask me what brand, is just original. And this is the style that they sent for the DPF-E, but this is not DPF-E, this is AdBlue. So the guy from the dealer must confuse DEF from DPF. So sorry for that. So this is wrong, it has to be returned. Alright guys, so let me work on this, and I will show you a little bit of the process. I mean, engine oil is very easy to connect, I mean to replace. Probably will show a little bit on the diesel filter, which is, you know, in the middle of the engine. You have to be careful with the sensor that's attached to it, but I will show you that. So let me start to drain the fluid and replacing the oil in the hose, and then I bring it down to change that filter. Alright, I got the oil filter in and the oil, also the brand new intercooler hose to the throttle body actuator is installed as well. I tried to clean as much as I could from there too. I'm right now starting to remove things to get that diesel filter off. One thing that I want to show you guys or explain you is that you have to be very careful with this return line. Let me point it to you, this one right here, because this is a plastic elbow. I have seen many people breaking it. It's better if you remove it. It has a clip in here that you have to remove, and then you can take the elbow out. Just wiggle it softly, remove it so it's out of your way, because otherwise when you bring the filter out, try to get these hoses off, you will break it. So just be careful. So in order to get that filter out, you need to get the center Y off the intake that comes from the 2 air filters to the turbo. Those are just 8 millimeters, or sorry, actually a 7 millimeter socket. And let me see what I need to do. I hope I don't have to remove that intake pipe. but we'll see. So this is as much as I have done now. So also you need to disconnect the two map sensors from each side of that Y. But it's looking good. I'm going to clean this up very well, so it's nice and clean after my repair. Show you something, looking from the inside of the engine, let's say, removing that intake hose. Those filters looks like brand new, right? So I'm like, oh, let's assume they're new. I removed one, the one on the passenger side, to check it out. Oh my God, look at this. How is this car even breathing? I hope that camera picks up very well there. So definitely air filters are coming new as well. This is going to be a big difference on the engine, power, and I will probably expect that diesel filter has never been replaced as well. So we'll see. That air filter doesn't mean, it's 100,000, so it's being not replaced in a long time. So I already ordered the filters and going to install those too. All right, both of the air filters out, and then they're just horrible. Horrible is an easy word. Look at that. The car is definitely having a lot of issues breathing. It will add a lot of fuel and will start clogging your catalytic converters and damaging the DPF filter. So that is also another good finding. I had the diesel filter out. That's the old one, and that is the new one. I just started to take it apart. An advice that will be also good, just put a mark on the strap so you put them in the same position, and then the hoses will reach the same way. As far as the hoses, let me show you what I did. So remember I told you about this one. With experience you can handle it and not break it if you're careful enough. So I didn't remove that. So with a pick, you just gotta open the clamps and then wiggle them with the filter off. You can start like loosening the hoses and then taking the filter out, which is exactly what I did. So alright, so also to remove the left side air filter, you will call that a bracket, or not the bracket, the whole air filter case. You have to remove this brake booster line. It's just about pushing in and then slider, and then you just push it on the side. Those are let's see, I got that socket from here. Those are E10 reverse torch. The ones on the filter to release the filters are T20, and I have something else in here, that's T25, which I use for, remember, well, I also needed got interrupted in there, so I just wanted to show old and new. So I definitely expect to have a huge improvement on power, and this car, these guys are, Mark and Evelyn, you're going to be very happy. I hope so. And this is definitely going to cut off that extra smoke that, the engine trying to compensate for the lack of air is going to put more fuel, so you get the power, and that will be the smoke on the back, which will go to the catalytic converters and to the DPF filter. So hopefully this will make this system go cleaner and last longer, and probably a little bit more of a power as well too. So let me just proceed. I also wanted to show you this. This is what is inside the fuel filter. I just put them in here for now because I want to see how the fuel is. So this is the fuel filter sensor, and I got the rings brand new here. So it's the upper cock for the filter, which comes with it, and I'm going to install that back in the car, and I hope that I have enough time to take it for a test drive again today. Alright guys, I'm outside the shop right now. I just I did the car, and I wanted to make sure that we had no codes, and there was no codes in here. So let's go over to lead data, I know it has glare, so don't worry about it, because I will save all the information in here. So let's go to the boost control. See what we got now. Okay, you see this on diesel particle filter, 21%. So that is big, because I think the whole system, air and everything, is very important. Again, also by cleaning the EGR, part is, I clean the whole passages and everything. So I hope you guys are hearing me good. I was saying that, by cleaning the EGR and everything, we have a big difference on the numbers on the DPF filter as well. So I will be saving this information. So if it gets shaky or so, don't worry about it. And if I stop the video, I will be talking about this when I get back to the shop. So actually, I think it's just easier if I go that way. So let me take the test drive. I have right now 108, 846. Remember, this was 18 or 08 at the beginning, so I don't remember. So it's like around 40 miles or so that I have driven this car in this procedure of testing and regeneration for the DPF and so on. So well, let's cross our fingers, and I hope that this is a very different car from now on. Test drive, the car drove very well, but then after the second turn I lost the power. But right now we have another code in here, 211.1 and 211.2, which are the map sensors. Hopefully this is looks like open circuit and wiring, short circuit to ground, short circuit to battery. So that is kind of weird. So let me get back to the shop. I'm going to try to erase the codes and go for another test drive, but this was not here before. It can be, that the map sensor were not reading enough before for the filters, or that something got off, when I removed them, because I have to disconnect those in order to get the filters out. So I'll have to check that out, but we'll see. Okay, so again, I'm going to erase the codes and try to see if I can continue with the test drive, assuming that's just, maybe just 30 miles of flow, and it might go away. So we'll see. Alright guys, back in the shop. So we have those codes for the map sensor, 2011/1 and then /2. So I'm going to do a test with the Mercedes original scanner. So I need to put the bin number here first. UF 22X 79B 36822. I'm pretty sure that's the car. 22X 79B 3682228. Alright, so now I did the vehicle. Sorry, sometimes I forgot to point the camera in the right direction. Right now we will go over to, let me turn the AC off because I had it on since I was driving the vehicle. Ignition is on. So I erased the codes trying to get back here because it was completely no power. I assume something got messed up with the readings of the sensors now that the filters are completely clean, so you got more volume. The computer thinks that is something wrong with the map sensors. I did reset the adaptations for the filters and for the map sensors, and that didn't help at all. So we'll see what DAS has to tell us here. So let's go over to control units, then drive. Okay. know we're not gonna have the codes because I erased it and the car was running good. So let's go over to actual values, troubleshooting by means of complacent symptoms, complete list of guide tests. Maybe we should probably go there. Actual values, actuations. Might need to drive this car again to get the full code in there. Actually, let me go back. What's full list of full codes and events? Let me see if that. Yeah, this might help me because I know what the codes are. So we know there's 2011. Okay, we have right here. So let's check this one up because it's gonna do the test that we need. So ignition on, engine not running. Make sure that you don't have an extractor connected to the exhaust. I don't. The hot film map sensor must have no airflow during the NOR test. So that's what we have. So specify values. The values are within the specs of 485 to 570. That's okay. 0 to 80 is in 53. 0 to 100 is in 86. So yes. Engine at idle. So let me crack the engine. Alright, let's click 2. And this time we're checking the left one, which is B2/6. Are the measurements okay? 0 to 80. I mean, it's a big range, but I don't see any problems with that. So yes, sorry for the sharp noise. Check thickness to component. The actual value with engine speed greater than 1500 RPM. I'm sorry guys. Let me stop the video for this guy to stop doing that. And it's just so noisy. Alright, so now this is going to test greater RPMs. I hate that. Alright, so coolant temperature has to be between 80 to 100, which it is. The temperature of the oil is okay. Electric accessories should be off, it's off. Air conditioner is off. Without leakage, operating parking brake. Operate the parking brake. I don't think I have, so let me put the parking brake on. Alright, right now we got the parking brake and the selector is in park. Engine is in idle. So temperatures are fine. Let's go to F2. When component went left, EGR procedures is replaced and returned for inspection. The following evaluation graph not being closed. This takes place about 5 minutes. During the period, the engine speed is raised to 1400 RPMs and the exhaust garbage circulation is actuated in battery stages. Not between tolerance. So let's see. Our electrical, yes. Approximately 30 seconds of waiting necessary to obtain the measurement values. The RPMs around 1400. I hate that thing. I hope it's not super noisy for you guys. But well, that's the way the shop is. Another 30 seconds. Just want to make sure you can see also the way the test goes through. I mean, this is why having an original scanner is so important, especially when you have a problem like this, on a car that has a lack of power. I mean, I think that I pretty much solved the first instance, which was the boost issue. But then by removing those filters and putting the new filters on, which I mean, they're definitely important. Right now, definitely those map sensors are not reading correctly. I already checked, make sure they're connected right. The wires have no issues. The Y is, that goes from both of the filters to the turbo is connected correctly. So let's see. Another 30 seconds. Let's take a look at the engine while this is going. Let me pause. Let's see. Let me pause the video and I will come back to the computer so you guys don't have to listen to this noise. Alright, the test went through. Let's see what we got here. Minutes of what test is this. Okay, we have the evaluation of the MAF. This kind of the circulation. You can see it's following very good. So, max tolerance, minimum tolerance, on-off ratio of exhaust gas recirculation. So as you can see, if we see, these are the tolerance, the minimum and the maximum, and these are the values that took 5%, then at 25, 50, and then at 95. So the EGR should be okay, and so is the MAF. So I don't see any problems with this. The source has not yet printed out. Do you want to close? So no. Let me print this out. So let me save this up and we'll get back with you guys. Alright, so I saved the values of the left side. So let's now do the right side. As you can see, the test was okay. So I know it's going to take me. Let's check the signal. Left whole film, actuation is ended. Click on your microperformer, blah blah blah, supervision and a test. So let's check now the right side. See how this one will go, because we have two map sensors. Now this one will be the B27 right side. So ignition on, engine not running. So let me turn it off. We're gonna start from scratch with this one. So you already saw the first test. Let me turn the camera off so we don't extend the time of the video with no purpose. And let me see the result, and I get you that final report too. Right, on Sentry, the two map sensor passed the test. The only difference that I found was that HFM SFI duration. One is like 368, one is 322, but the cycle duration, it will be maybe the actual frequency of the MAF. One is not as high as the other one, and that will be the right side. So the thing is, you cannot replace just the one, both will need to be replaced. So probably that is what is set in the codes on and going to leave mode. The one is not reading as much as the other one, so it might be full of dirt from pieces that goes through the filter. I will have to wait and talk to the customer. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's nothing you can do. Things that are, clean now, so the readings change, and our computer doesn't like what it's reading. So we'll see tomorrow when I talk to him, and most likely we will repair that. So I will have just to get a quote on how much that is, and get it done. All right, guys. I took the car for a test drive. Not even one time it failed. I think that doing the test for the map sensors for both sides and the EGR and everything actually probably did the relearn of the filters and the new values for the maps, because I mean that was so dirty that needed to be reset. So I'm very happy with that, because I was not really looking forward to spend anything on map sensors or so. I will again take the car for a test drive tomorrow, but at least for today this is it. One last thing that I found is, and I want to show you this to you guys, is let me get out of here. Exhaust gas recirculation. Yeah, that's because I was looking for that. Let me see, where was I? I think it's in this particle filter. Well, we have a load state of 80% on this DPF. It says the ash content on the diesel particle filter is 43%, but that 80% is very close to the limit. So I will warn, I know that Mark and Evelyn are going to be looking at this video. The ash content is not that high, but the load state is 80%, so that's very high. The car is completely like brand new. Again, if you keep doing regenerations, that has to come down. I will really look forward for you guys to bring the car over probably in a month or so to reread all these bits. But so again, one other thing that I found, actually right now I was reading, I was going to call this off like bed, but this downstream O2 sensor wasn't zero before. I guess right now it's reading, because I have before looking on this car had some codes for the knock sensor. Let me see if we see any codes right now in the memory. No full codes. And I went like 8 times, very very hard on this. This is a completely new car compared to how it was. So I am very happy that those map sensor codes went away. Probably was just, like I said, just an adaptation that needed to be finished. But it's always good to go through the whole process. You now know, as I show you on the video, how to do those tests for the map sensor and everything. So I think this is fixed. I will call this the end. I'm very happy the way the car is handling and is driving right now. So I hope you guys like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and again, this is Mike Salazar, and I'm in Herndon, Virginia. So if you guys need help or something around this area, just post a comment or something, or send me your email and I will contact you as soon as possible. Alright, have a great day.